Okay, so you want to know how people are actually making money online in 2025?
Yeah.
That's what we're diving into today.
No fluff, just the real deal.
Exactly. You guys are smart listeners. You want the good stuff.
The actionable insights.
Yeah, and we've got them. We found some really interesting research on where online income is headed.
Plus, we listened to this awesome podcast.
Yeah, with real people who are already making a living online.
Sharing their strategies.
So our mission today is to pull out the most valuable stuff from all that and give you a clear picture of what's working right now.
We're talking proven methods, tangible shifts.
The online earning landscape is changing so fast.
And we're breaking it all down for you.
One of the biggest things that jumped out at us from the research is this prediction that over half of the global workforce
Over half.
will be freelancing or working remotely by 2025.
It's mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is. It's like a total shift in how we even think about work.
It really shows how much the employment landscape is changing, earning money outside the traditional office.
It's not just a side hustle anymore.
It's becoming the main way people work.
And for you listening, whether you're already looking for new income streams or just curious about how all this works.
This is important because it means there are more ways than ever to earn money outside the typical 9 to 5.
It's not just for a select few anymore. It's a huge trend.
Absolutely.
So let's get into the specifics. How are people actually making this happen in 2025?
Well, our sources highlighted 5 key methods that are really taking off.
It's a pretty diverse mix, which is cool. It shows how the online earning world has grown and matured.
Definitely. It's not just one thing anymore. There are opportunities for all sorts of skills and interests.
Okay, so the first one is all about social media influencers and content creation. Now, I know when some people hear influencer, they picture...
It's someone with millions of followers.
Right, like huge brand deals.
Yeah, but what's really interesting is the rise of the micro-influencer.
So tell me more about that.
These are people with smaller but super engaged audiences, often in the 5,000 to 20,000 follower range. And they can have engagement rates as high as 5 to 10%.
Wow, that's significant.
It is. Brands are starting to see the value in these smaller, more niche communities.
Because people trust them more.
Exactly. There's a higher level of trust and interaction. So when a micro-influencer recommends something...
People actually listen.
Yeah, they're monetizing through genuine brand partnerships, sponsored posts where they actually use and like the product.
Makes sense.
And affiliate marketing where they get a cut of sales from their unique links.
So it's less about massive reach and more about a real connection with a specific audience.
Right. It's about impact.
I like that.
Moving on to the second method, the freelance economy is booming. Platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer.
These are like the go-to hubs, right?
They are. It's amazing how they've democratized access to work. You can be a writer, a designer, a programmer, a virtual assistant, a marketing specialist, a coach.
Pretty much anything.
And you can find clients from all over the world who need your skills.
I imagine it's pretty quick to set up shop as a freelancer.
It can be. You don't necessarily need a ton of upfront investment other than your time and effort.
You create a profile, showcase your skills.
And deliver quality work.
Then there's online course creation and membership communities. This one seems to tap into that human need for constant learning.
Absolutely. People always want to improve themselves, learn new things, or go deeper in areas they're passionate about.
So if you have expertise in something,
No matter how niche it might seem.
there's probably an audience out there who wants to learn from you.
Exactly. Platforms like Teachable and Kajabi have made it so easy to create and sell courses.
And what about membership communities?
That's where things get really interesting. You can build a community around your expertise.
I see.
It creates recurring revenue, but more importantly, it fosters engagement and connection.
People can learn together, support each other.
Like, imagine someone who's passionate about sourdough baking. They create a course and then a membership site where people can share recipes.
And troubleshoot their baking problems.
Right. It's like turning your knowledge into a product and building a tribe around it.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Okay, number 4, e-commerce and dropshipping. It feels like it's never been easier to sell stuff online.
You're right. Platforms like Shopify and Etsy have lowered the barriers to entry.
And dropshipping has been a game changer.
Totally. It allows you to sell physical or digital products without having to deal with inventory.
You basically partner with suppliers who handle all the logistics.
Storage, packing, shipping.
You can focus on developing your products, marketing, and customer service.
The profit margins can vary, but a lot of successful drop shippers focus on niche markets.
Where there's less competition.
And they build a strong brand around their product selection.
It's a great option for people who want to run an online store without needing a warehouse.
Sure.
All right, last but not least, we've got NFTs and digital assets. This one feels like the Wild West.
It's definitely the newest frontier, and it's got huge potential for creators.
But it can be a little hard to wrap your head around,
Yeah, NFTs are basically unique digital items
like artwork or collectibles.
that can be bought and sold
They give artists, musicians, and creators a new way to monetize their work.
because they offer verifiable ownership and scarcity in the digital world.
It's still early days,
Yeah.
but some people are seeing massive returns.
It's definitely a trend to watch.
So looking at all 5 of these methods, one thing that stands out is you don't need a ton of money to get started.
That's right. It's more about creativity and hard work.
Leveraging your skills and putting in the effort.
But of course, with so many people trying to make money online,
It can be tough to stand out.
so how do you cut through the noise?
Oh, our sources had some great advice on that. The first thing was find your unique angle.
Figure out what makes you different. What's your special sauce?
Don't just copy everyone else.
Ask yourself, what problem can I solve? What unique perspective do I have? What's my voice?
Basically, what's your unique selling proposition?
Exactly. That's what will attract a loyal audience or client base.
So instead of just offering general writing services,
You might specialize in writing for sustainable fashion brands,
that's a much more specific niche.
and it makes you stand out.
The second piece of advice was consistency. This seems obvious, but it's so important.
It really is. Building an online presence takes time and effort. You have to show up consistently.
Whether it's social media, podcasts, blog posts, newsletters,
It builds familiarity, trust, credibility.
it shows people you're serious.
Think of it like building a muscle. You have to work at it regularly to see results.
Great analogy.
Yeah.
And finally, don't forget about engagement. It's not enough to just put content out there.
You have to build relationships with your audience.
Respond to comments, ask for feedback, run polls,
Tailor your content to their needs.
make them feel heard.
Exactly. The online world thrives on connection.
So you're not just broadcasting, you're having a conversation,
Right. And when people feel connected, they're more likely to share your work.
which leads to organic growth.
Exactly. Word of mouth is still incredibly powerful.
So those are some really actionable tips. But remember, all this information is useless.
Unless you actually do something with it.
The podcast host we listened to had a great point. He said, don't be afraid to start small and experiment.
It's okay if your first attempt isn't perfect.
You'll learn as you go.
The online world is constantly changing, so be adaptable.
Try different things. See what works.
Track your results and adjust your approach.
And don't get discouraged if things don't take off right away.
Persistence is key.
It takes time and effort to build something meaningful online.
There will be challenges,
But if you keep showing up, learning, and adapting.
you'll increase your chances of success.
Okay, so let's recap. We've covered some exciting online income opportunities that are gaining traction in 2025.
Becoming a micro-influencer or content creator,
Tapping into the freelance economy,
creating online courses and membership communities,
launching an e-commerce business with dropshipping.
and even exploring the world of NFTs and digital assets.
And remember, the key is to have a strategic approach.
Find your unique angle, be consistent, and engage with your audience.
So here's a final thought for you. As you consider these different methods, which one resonates most with your skills and passions?
What's that one thing you've always wanted to try?
And what's one small step you can take today to start exploring that possibility?
Even if it's just 30 minutes of research or brainstorming,
Take action and see where it leads.
you never know what you might achieve.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.
Anytime.